Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure that I really need the microphone to talk to those of you that are in the room, but just in case of the live stream, I want them to be able to hear it. Thank you guys for coming out to our rather unusual Roberts Middle School Band spring concert. Not in the conditions that we normally would be performing for you guys, but we are very proud of the work that these students have done over the course of this very challenging school year to start their musical adventures. So we're going to present for you a number of short pieces tonight that the sixth graders have been working on very hard. There will be some full band pieces as well as some section features interspersed within them. We do ask at this time that you silence any cell phones or any other devices that you have. And just want to give you a reminder that in keeping with the Ohio Health Department's recommendations, we do need to make sure that all guests are wearing face coverings properly at all times. That includes covering your nose as well as your mouth. Thank you. And please observe social distancing guidelines so that we can keep our community healthy and safe. All right, so without any further preamble from me, this is the Roberts sixth grade band. That was, of course, the traditional song of the Saints School Marching Band. We're going to continue now by featuring our brass section in a round on another traditional tune. This is Forever Child. Donald had a band. Now, one of the skills that we work on a lot in beginning band and as they're developing, we start off with the fundamentals, producing a tone, how do we read music, how do we find the right pitches on our instruments. But as they mature and as we get towards the end of their first year of playing, one of the skills that we normally emphasize is playing independently, playing with multiple interlocking parts that don't have the same rhythm and the same pitches, which has been a challenge this year because just by show of hands, how many of you have never played with the band before tonight? How many of you have been totally remote all year? At least 5 or 6 of them. And between that and the time when we were all remote, of course, as I'm sure you guys are aware, playing on Zoom, we can't all hear each other because there is that time limit. So this ability to play independently really relies on every musician knowing their part and working hard. So we appreciate the hard work that they've all put in. Our next selection for you this evening is going to feature the percussion section on high school cadets. You might have noticed that I'm strategically timing these coming to the microphone and talking moments so that the percussionists can usually move behind me because they have to change instruments. So it's at this time, as they're changing instruments, that I'm going to present a couple of awards for the year. Every year at our spring concert, we recognize a few individuals from our bands that have shown an exemplary dedication, an exemplary hard work, and positive attitude in their music-making careers. And this evening, we'd like to recognize 3 students from the 6th grade band, 1 from each of our woodwind, brass, and percussion sections. So the recipients this year's Outstanding Band Student Awards for the 6th grade band are, of course, I love my list over there. Madison Morris, Jillian Kilker, and Gianna Aaron. I'd also like to take a moment. I'm realizing suddenly that you guys are 6th grade band parents. Some of you may not know who I am. I'm Mr. Lang. I'm the director of bands here at Roberts Middle School, but I'd like to take a second to recognize as well our 2 other directors. I primarily instruct the woodwind students, but I'm also assisted by Mr. Harris, who works with the brass students, and Ms. Lambert, who you see back in the percussion section. So they help out on a daily basis and are great assets to this program. Our next selection will be Ode to Joy. section, that is our flute and clarinet players on a selection entitled Jamaican Holiday. Thank you. If you had told me when I started my career, or even, well, I guess not a year ago, excuse me, but 13 months ago, if you had told me that not only would we be able to teach band remotely without ever meeting the students, but that it could be successful, I simply would not agree with you. This group that you see behind me, I'm sure most of the people that I'm talking to understand this, but most of the time this year, we were not able to have regular contact. And with an area like music, where you're working on things as fine as exactly how you shape your mouth, or where your fingers go, or things that are as time sensitive as rhythms and playing together in an ensemble, it has been a true challenge, and I'm incredibly proud of the work that this group has done. So I'd ask you guys just to do one, help me thank them real quick for the hard work that they've done. But as long as we're thanking people, the people that we really ought to thank are those of you sitting in the audience, those of you that have supported these students along their way this year and helped out through this very challenging time, and have taken the time out on a Tuesday night to come support them in this rather hot and humid gym. So thank you guys for coming out. I also want to take a second to thank Mr. Geyer, our principal, for all of his continued support, as well as our custodial staff for making sure that the gym was usable for us tonight. And of course, our live streaming service being run up there at the top by my wife, David Clark. Speaking of the live stream, I would encourage you guys, after you leave here tonight, to take the time to watch the 7th grade and 8th grade live streams. I think you'll probably have enough time to get home before the 7th grade starts. Please don't try to watch the live stream and try. That seems like a bad idea. I'd encourage you to watch those programs. Normally, we like to have this band concert all at once so that you can see kind of the musical path that our students take over their time in middle school. Unfortunately, due to limited seating, that simply was not possible this year. So thank you guys. We're going to play one more selection for you tonight from the 6th grade band. This is Hard Rock Blues. As I said, thank you for coming out this evening. We are going to ask, because we have the 7th grade band students and their families coming in the front of the school, we're going to ask that once your student has packed up, that you exit through these back doors of the gym. The parking lot is right there, so you just go out to your left and you'll find the parking lot. That way we don't have a traffic jam in the hallway. Thank you guys very much for taking the time out on a Tuesday night to come out here. Have a safe trip home.